Good afternoon everybody. Welcome again to Amakhala Game Reserve. Very nice warm welcome here, but on a very chilly day. It's still quite cold out here, but we're quite grateful that we've started off with some plain zebra here at one of the dry dams. Quite nice to look at them. I think they're just sheltering, getting a little bit lower down, getting out of the wind. Hello again, my name is Andrew and Morgan behind the camera over there. I hope you're all excited for your afternoon game drive with us. I know we are. We do have a plan. We're going to see if we can maybe get some lions this afternoon, but they're pretty far. So let's see how that goes this afternoon. Look at that young foal, got his tail in the, looks like in the bushes. I'm not sure if he's just lifting his tail or her tail. Yeah, we've managed to reposition quite nicely now, and we've got them both sides of the road ahead of us. And it's very peaceful up here because we're the only vehicle here. And it's quite funny because one of the bull elephants is in this group and he was walking behind us. Luckily we spotted him and got out of his way. But we would never have known that he was coming unless we actually saw. They walk very, very quietly. A lot of people would think that when elephants are walking, you're going to hear this sort of thunderous sound. It's actually the opposite. Elephants are one of the quietest walking animals I've ever met in my life. Oh, that one looks like he's digging a little bit. Okay, so this male lion is still here. He's just sitting quite proudly next to his eland carcass, which is just on the left or right hand side of him. And I don't see that he's opened up any of this ostrich yet, but I do see a couple of bite marks on the legs over there. So remember, if you are sensitive to these things, that there are two dead animals here. Now, it's not often that your male lions are able to do what he's done. And who knows when he'll be able to catch so many different animals again. This is a very rewarding time for him because eland is actually one of the lion's favorite meals throughout the different reserves where elands are occurring.
What we're looking at here is an nkonkoni, which is a wildebeest, and this being a blue wildebeest in particular. And this is the dominant bull of the area just here around Scotia Dam. I haven't seen him in the last couple of days because he's been hiding from the rain and the wind. Well, he's not exactly being active, but this is his spot. Still in the wind. Doesn't look like he's particularly enjoying it either. Well, we've got another visitor here next to the waterhole, and that, as we speak of him, is a Blesbok ram. So probably another territorial male that not with any group, as was the case with that blue wildebeest. So it might be a bit of an older bull, that blue wildebeest, and this ram probably similar. You do often find the older males that have got a territory established, but they're a little bit past their prime. They often then end up being solitary. We've got a nice fat puff adder. A pretty decent, oh there it goes, starting to move. We call that rectilinear motion. Everybody knows the serpentine, the S-like motion that a snake takes. Now this is the rectilinear, also known as concertina, whereby it moves in a straight line. All of those body muscles moving to propel the animal forward. It leaves a nice trail, nice straight line on the floor. I can't see him. I'm not actually going to go closer because I can't see anymore and I don't know where he went to. The puff adder, unlike other snakes, doesn't move away from vibration on the floor. They believe themselves to be so cryptically camouflaged that nothing's going to cause them harm, so they just sit there. Other snakes will move away at quite great speed, but not them. And that's why they are responsible for more bites than most other snakes that we find. Oh, there we go. Most other snakes that we find out, and he's not that big. There you go. That's beautiful. Beautiful spiders in the afternoon.
the golden orb web spider. And I hope some of you didn't jump out of your seat there if you were a bit too close to the screen. Lovely golden colour to the web. She's holding on strongly. We saw her devour a fly just now. It'll be coming towards the end of her season, where she will crawl on into the bush, lay some eggs, and then will depart this world.
We've got a beautiful blue dragonfly that is perched, sunning itself on this log. And every now and then we're seeing some fish swimming behind it too, so I'm hoping you get to see them. It is so cool seeing the movement in the water. There's one at the top right. There's a fishy there. Hello fish. What are you doing? Looking for food along the sandbank. That is so cool. We've got a whole lot of things happening in a tiny little space. And it's not even just those fish and the dragonfly. There's another dragonfly that's hiding as well. It's a little bit closer to us. Look there, a red-veined dropwing right on the tip of the grass. It's like a little dragonfly haven here. We found a rhino. It's a beautiful big male white rhino standing in the sun, thinking about where he wants to go next, and he is looking magnificent. He's got some dried mud all over him. I think he's been mud wallowing. And what a good day for it. It's so nice and warm this afternoon. He's got some oxpecker friends that are all over his legs. They've been dropping down occasionally to have a bit of a little dust bath in the road. But it's just so exciting to see a white rhino. He looked like he wanted to leave, but we've been sitting nice and quietly and he's relaxed. So he is sticking around, and I am so grateful for that. It is so rare that we get to see rhinos that I'm staying here as long as I possibly can. Isn't he amazing? So this, I think, is probably the most spectacular caterpillar I've ever seen. I've had some insane luck the last week with very pretty caterpillars, but this one I think takes the cake. Look at those little club-like hairs sticking out of this stripy body. It's actually upside down. Its head is down here and its tail is up there, so it's hanging upside down. It's resting at the moment, it's not feeding. And these are all little hairs that have adapted to look like clubs on its back. A very, very pretty species. But have a look at that gorgeous moth. I want to show you what it's going to look like when it grows into a moth. Can you see that there, Panda? Is that good?
Yeah.
That's what the adult is going to look like. See why it's called a dice moth?
10 inch slightly. Get the sun.
Ah, like that?
Oh yeah.
There you go. There's the dice moth. And that is the caterpillar. Isn't that magnificent? Ah, I'm so excited. I love it. It's such a pretty little caterpillar. So what it does when it's feeding, which you can't see now because it's just resting. It feeds on plants, by the way. But what it does is it waves these little clubs around to try and distract anything from eating it. It looks dangerous.
If you come in a nature reserve, most of the time you find lions are more successful in winter because if there's no much food in the drought season, tend to be the body system doesn't get much support on the grass, what they graze around in the area. They tend to be so much we can get killed a lot. Most of sightings around winter time. This time of the year where grass are healthy, it's opposite. You tend to see buffalo protect themselves much more and effectively. That's the reason you tend to see groupings of males, especially at the back of the tail of the head, and also from the front. All the time eat like that. It's in the nature of the buffalo. They conquer the head itself of all soldiers on the side and also on the front, at the back, all the time, especially if they engage with a predator, is what they do the most.
First puffadder, there's something about them that just does something to the body. Now they are invariably docile organisms, you know. If you had a puffadder crawling towards you, oh my word, we have a hyena. Oh my lordy lord. Finally, a hyena has arrived at Marib's kill. So snakes are pretty docile if you don't poke them. If you just stay and do your thing, you know, they'll move over you like they would a normal stick or a normal log. But as soon as you start to poke and prod, and Marib's is in the tree as well, I can see him. As soon as you start to poke and prod and affect, and the first thing people do when they see a snake, not everybody, is they want to jump up and down and make a lot of noise. And all that is doing is you're threatening the animal. So just calm, relax, take a deep breath if you can, back away slowly. That's all you have to do. Freaking out is just going to scare the snake, which is going to make it seem more aggressive than it really is. Lucy, he is just over 3 years old. I think he turned 3 in February, if I'm not mistaken. It was his birthday in February. We celebrated. He's got a very characteristic look to him, doesn't he? His droopy ears, his droopy eyes, and his droopy tongue. Close the eyes, and the ears are constantly tuning. Marcel, you envy my job. It's not a bad job, I must admit. Spending time with cats really is. Leopards in a tree, cats on the floor like this, really is an absolute privilege. Before coming to Wild Earth, I saw 3 leopard sightings, and on my interview drive here I saw 2 on the same drive together.
Oh, Gary, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will definitely enjoy my leave. I'm very excited for the wedding. Oh, scrub hair fun. Yes, please. I will take that. A little scrub hair. Just off the edges there. But yes, I'm very excited for my leave. And I'm very excited for the wedding. So I'm hoping it's going to be everything we dreamed and more. But I will see you all in May from Amakhala. I'm excited for that. And a massive thank you to everybody for a spectacular cycle. It's been wonderful being back in Djuma in the Sabi Sand Nature Reserve. And lovely hearing from all of you all the time. Thank you all for keeping me going as always and making it amazing. It has been wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. But to everyone that joined us on our epic sunset safari, thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow morning. Welcome Trish back warmly, please. We already have, but I know you're all excited to see her. Have a lovely evening, and the crew will see you at 6:30 a.m. Central African time. Bye, everyone.